Welcome back. A big deal event is headed our way as San Francisco prepares to host the 34th America's Cup. Here with details on preparations already underway and what the sailing extravaganza will mean to the city's economy in revenue and cost, we welcome the Communications Director for America's Cup 2013, Stephanie Martin. Stephanie, welcome.
Thanks for having us, Susan.
Well, thank you for being here. Okay, for people who don't know, most people know it's about boats, probably about sailing, some really nice boats. The America's Cup, just give us a thumbnail sketch of what it is.
Sure. Well, the America's Cup is actually the oldest trophy in international sport, and it's 160 years old. Wow. And the interesting thing about it is only 4 countries have ever won it. So in America, the United States has won it, was the winner for 132 years. Then it went away. Now it's back to the U.S. for the first time since 1995. So there's this tremendous amount of pride that Americans should have about the Cup coming back home.
Okay, and this started as a rivalry between the English and the Americans. But the America in America's Cup is not from the country, it's from a boat.
That's correct, yeah. The first boat to ever win it was called America. And there's actually now in San Francisco Bay a replica of that first boat. The replica of America is now sailing out in the bay in support of the 34th America's Cup.
There you go. So we are the ideal place to do this, obviously. All right, let's take a look at some pictures because that's worth 1,000 words. We've got some video here shot in New Zealand. What are we looking at, actually?
So you're going to see a little bit of our test period, and what we're showing is we're really going to be telling the story in a different way. It's all about bringing the action to the fans, letting them see the sailing and the true athleticism of the sailing.
Okay, let's take a walk.
The new look America's Cup has been put through its paces with 2 weeks of trials on and off the water in Auckland, New Zealand. Designed to deliver the best sailors and the fastest boats, the 34th America's Cup will take place in San Francisco in 2013 in 72-foot catamarans. But for now, the teams are sailing high-speed 45-foot versions, which are capable of reaching speeds over 50 kilometres an hour. Teams from the US, Sweden, New Zealand and China faced one another in mock battle for the first time in New Zealand, putting the boats themselves and some brand new innovations to the test.
We launched in an ambitious program with the America's Cup last September with the AC45 circuit and took on a new look for the America's Cup, and that involved new races, new types of boat, new ideas on TV, new rules to race by. To have it come together 3 months before the first event has been a vital part of what we needed to do.
Go, go, go! For the race teams, the
Oh, poise your cameras, all that on our beautiful bay. Wow, what a photo op.
Yeah.
What's it going to mean for the city, though? I would think a lot of people would be coming in, good thing. A lot of money it should bring to the economy. I think the estimate was something like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Is that being...
That's true. 1.4 billion has been estimated, and also
1.4 billion.
Yeah, and 8,000 jobs, which is also important. So it's a tremendous economic investment that's coming in, and a lot of that comes from the redevelopment of the piers, the work that we're doing on the piers, the teams coming in, the fans coming in. This is an international sport, and it's actually the 3rd largest sport in terms of economic impact after the World Cup and the Olympics.
Okay, but what about the cost? Because I read there was a piece I think in March in the Chronicle, John Cote, I think it was, who said that since the deal was struck, there were substantial increases in obligations and liabilities for the city. Some of the piers had to be fixed. There's some things that have to happen. If this has to be up and running, you can't just say, well, let's, have a boat race.
Absolutely. But that's always been part of the plan, to work on those piers, and that was the work that we've done with the city and the port to come up with what's the best plan for the America's Cup, but that also leaves a legacy for the city of San Francisco, so that we don't leave white elephants. We don't leave buildings that have no use. It's how do we create something that will have a legacy for the city.
Nice.
So the economic investment actually comes from, on the piers, comes from the host, from us, comes from the event authority investing in those piers to bring them up to snuff.
So wait a minute, so now the city of San Francisco doesn't have to put the money out to do all these improvements?
Not the improvements to the piers.
Okay.
And then we're also separately raising money to actually run the event. So that's the number that you've seen. We're raising $303 million to actually run the event, and we're doing that through local sponsors, working with the America's Cup organizing committee to raise this money so that there isn't a burden on the city.
Okay, a couple of nuts and bolts. For the average Joe or Jane who does not own a yacht,
yes.
Is there going to be a place to stand? Is it free? Is there a cost? Are there tickets?
Yeah, it's going to be, our whole focus is access across the board. So whether it is educating people about sailing, getting them to come down, or providing them great TV or online access. So it is going to be basically 95% free to be able to come down. We'll probably have some grandstands in some places for those people that want to know they have a seat and a bathroom and a
I was going to say,
bottle
is there
of
a place
water.
to go to the bathroom? Because that's going to be key.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. But that's where we've been working really closely with the city and the port and the other members of the city family to really create a plan that is focused on how do we get people in, how do we make sure that they have an amazing experience, and that they feel like they get to be part of the America's Cup.
Okay, and traffic, of course, and parking are going to be issues too. But now, is this going to impede the ferries? Because a lot of this happens on the waterfront, right?
A lot of it happens on the waterfront. Yeah, we'll be sailing right out between Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz. Will be a main section of the race area.
So what happens to the ferries that go from even like Marin County to the city? Are they going to have to stop for a couple of days? Will there be less boats for people who have to get to work around all of this?
And that's actually been all part of this people plan, as we call it. So this transportation plan of how people can get in, get out. And we're actually still in the process of accepting comments through the Office of Economic and Workforce Development through May 31st. But on the water and off the water, we're working with all of our partners, whether it's the ferry captains or the Bar Pilots Association or the Coast Guard, and off the water Golden Gate National Recreation Area, to make sure that the plan really meets the needs of everyone.
Okay, and quickly, since we don't have a lot of time to get into the kinds of jobs that are going to be there, but you mentioned something like 8,000 jobs, and golly knows we need them. Where do people go to get leads on those jobs so they can jump on that?
Well, it's going to be a variety of different things. So there'll be jobs coming to work for us. The America's Cup Event Authority and race management teams are actually putting the events on. But there's also going to be a tremendous amount of other jobs, such as service jobs.
And these will be on your website as well?
Be on our website, but also just throughout the city, because the people coming into the city need to be serviced with hotels, food, all different types of services.
Okay, we're going to thank you, Stephanie Martin, for that. It sounds exciting. I know some of the preliminaries start in 2012, and then the main event starts in 2013. What month?
It will be July through September.
Okay,
the
all
amazing
right.
event.
For more information about the upcoming America's Cup, visit their website at americascup.com.